DJJohnny at JDMFM, and today I'm at St Luke's Church, continuing my story of Penketh and Sankey. Sankey Bridge is actually up there, down that road there, and Warrington is that way. This is the old Liverpool Road. Now, this church is an interesting church because it's black as the ace of spades. Blink and look at it. It's absolutely filthy. Why? Well, hopefully this little video will explain why it's so black, and also we're going to discover some of the local history and some of the local work that used to go on in this amazing area. So this is St Luke's Church. St Luke's Church was built in 1893, 126 years ago. Blinking X, it's quite old. But it's not been used, sadly, since 1979, so 40 years ago. In its heyday, however, when it was first built, it was called the Chapel of Ease. A nice name. Now, Chapel of Ease is where parishioners can't get to the main parish church, which is actually the Holy Trinity Church at Marketgate in the centre of Warrington, and they can come here instead. It's all linked to the same place. But of course, for those 126 years, this chapel has just been here, and it's been subject to all the smoke and everything else that's come from the factories over the way. And that's the reason why it's black as ace of spades and never been cleaned. It's like a time capsule. Amazing. The building can't be demolished because it's a Grade 2 listed building, and that's the reason why it's here. A number of companies have tried to use it in the past, but it's just not used at all nowadays. I don't know what's going to happen to it, but it is such a beautiful building, and a shame that it's not being used. So this is the old entrance to Monk's Hall Steelworks. Dearie me, the place is all gone now, but this is the same entrance as it always used to be, including the signal box which is there, and you can still see it says Monk's Hall on the side of the building. Monk's Hall used to have its very own sidings, and these are the lines which are still here at the moment, still continuing through from Warrington up there all the way down to Widnes that way, where they would be able to offload all of the steel and send it all around the country and beyond. So this is what it looks like now. There's no factory here anymore, it's all disappeared. All there is some nice new houses. You can see the Coach and Horses pub over my right shoulder, and you can also see St Luke's Church. But I wonder what it used to look like. And this is what it used to look like. Hundreds of chimneys belching out black, acrid smoke all over the Penketh and the Sankey areas, including all over Warrington itself. You can see over to my right, there's St Luke's Church and the Coach and Horses pub. And just behind me on the left, you can see Crossfield Soap Powder Factory, which actually is still there today. This factory was built in 1874 by a guy called Frederick Monks with his brother-in-law, William Hall. That's where the name Monk's Hall comes from. At the time, it was one of the world's greatest producers of finished iron and steel products in the whole world. Amazing, from this little town of Warrington, can you imagine? They had forge mills, they had puddling furnaces, they had welding works, they had tube works, a bed works, and even a riveting works. And the rivets that they made were actually used in the manufacture of all sorts of things, including ocean-going liners, such as the Queen Mary, I believe. Dear me. And the other interesting thing is that when the people used to come to work and people used to pass on the buses or the trams at that time, they could actually feel the heat from the factory through the glass. Jeepers, imagine that. Sadly, the factory closed in 1986, which is really sad for the local community, for the jobs and all that, but it did mean that there was no smoke going into the atmosphere anymore, which perhaps was a good thing. The interesting thing is that Frederick Monks is the guy who brought the Golden Gates to Warrington from Ironbridge. It's him who brought them to us, and also the statue of Oliver Cromwell. You'll remember in an early video that I did, and you also remember that Queen Victoria was not amused when she saw the gates in front of the statue of Oliver Cromwell, and so she chose not to have them for Sandringham, and they came to Warrington instead, which is a great thing. Blinking heck. That is just an amazing place it was. The history associated with this is incredible. Anyway, this was Monk's Hall. And this is the Coach and Horses pub, built in 1886. Jeepers, really, really old, another beautiful, beautiful building. and this is the pub which is right outside the old steelworks, where I'm sure that all the steelmen, when they came out from work, would pop in here for a quick drink to cool themselves down. And I'm now on the banks of the River Mersey, on the other side of the factory, on the other side of where the sidings of all the railway lines used to be. This is called, well, it used to be called Atherton Quay, and it's where they had literally docks here, which would allow all the steel, all the raw products and the new products which have been manufactured at Monk's Hall to be offloaded onto boats and sent off all around the continent and elsewhere. Amazing! And it's called the Atherton Quay because of the River Atherton. Now the River Atherton is actually Sankey Brook, as used to be, and when you talk to people down around here, they all used to call it the River Atherton, and hence that's why this is called the Atherton Quay. Amazing! Monk's Hall factory used to stretch about a mile all the way down there from Banquet up all the way to the entrance where we were before. Crikey, you can imagine, it's just a huge concern. Smoke everywhere, you can't believe it. Fairclough's Mill, which you can see behind there, the tall building, is actually still there, as you can see. And so is a lot of Crossfields work. Now that's going to be another video. I'm going to do another video on Banquet another day, because that is a hive of industry, has been for many, many years, and will continue to be so. And although Monk's Hall has long since gone, it still has quite a lot of industries you can see around here, including Warrington Fabrications, which is just behind me. So it does still keep the steelwork theme in the area, which is great for jobs as well. So where Monk's Hall factory used to be, there's now houses, lots of different designs of houses all around the area on the banks of the River Mersey. So now you can see why the church is black. It's just through all the industry. What an amazing place this used to be, bustling with smoke and everything blasting out of those furnaces over there at Monk's Hall, which is just over the road. Very quiet now, but it didn't used to be. Anyway, I hope you like my little chat, and whatever you're doing, hope you have a fabulous time, and see you again very, very soon. Bye.